A unique feature of Wyoming law is the availability of close limited liability companies, CLOSE. Some people say close, it's actually close, closely held. This was developed by the Wyoming legislature in the 90s, and the whole focus was, during the discussions, was these are kitchen table companies. These are companies where there's a couple of buddies, a couple of family members, a husband and wife, two brothers, two sisters, two friends, form a company, and they don't need no fancy record keeping, but they do deserve limited liability protection. And so by selecting to form a close limited liability company, you achieve a number of things. There's simplified governance. There isn't a requirement to have an annual meeting or keep meeting minutes for your company. I do recommend that you do those things, and I'll talk about that in a moment why, but you're not required to do it. There is a limitation on the transferability of the interests. So there is a hard-coded right of the existing members to prevent the transfer to someone that they don't want to. Even in the absence of an operating agreement for the company, you cannot transfer your interest in a close LLC without the consent of the other members. All of these things sort of come together to make it much more challenging for someone suing the company to say that the veil should be pierced and that the member should be held personally liable for the debts of the company. One of the things that a creditor will do in order to pierce the veil is say, show us your meeting minutes. Show us that this is a real company. And unfortunately, a lot of small companies don't keep great meeting minutes. We do recommend that you keep them, and we actually give you tools in our client portal to easily draft and approve annual meeting minutes, as well as special meeting minutes, distribution meeting minutes, contribution meeting minutes. All of those things you can do, and it just takes a couple of minutes to do them within our client portal. Again, you're not required with close LLCs, but if someone is trying to pierce the veil, what you could say is, look, I wasn't required to do anything under Wyoming law, but here's the documents that I did do. If there's any deficiencies, I didn't need to do them anyway, right? You basically have two arguments when it comes to avoiding a veil piercing event. Oftentimes people will talk to me and they said, hey, I formed my LLC and I didn't choose close status. Should I? I think you should really consider it. My attorney friends and partners, we actually think it's malpractice if a Wyoming attorney does not at least advise you of the availability of forming a close limited liability company. Because why would you want to make it easier for someone to pierce the veil of your company? Why would any attorney want to do that? The only exceptions would be if you're going to have more than 35 owners, right? That's one of the only exceptions. You can't have more than 35 owners of an LLC if you chose close status. But when we get into 35 owners, it's likely that's going to be treated as securities offering anyway. It's hard to imagine that there's 35 individuals who are deeply involved in the operations and management of the company. And so really those are a very small set of individuals who should form a regular or non-close LLC. So if you are forming your company in Wyoming, we highly recommend forming it as a close limited liability company. We'll give you a great set of documents which will reflect that and comply with all the statutory requirements under Wyoming law and enhance your asset protection right from the get-go.